Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Marduk the Gamer, and this is Design Episode. That clip you just watched was from a draft video for Wednesday's Wreck-It Ramp, a new series that I'm trying to start here on the channel, where I take a whole bunch of rovers off of the Steam Workshop and shoot them off of a ramp and through various entertaining things. I'm thinking of all kinds of like Circle of Doom and firing rockets. I had fireworks this Wednesday, but I want more panaz. But there's a little problem. The original ramp design was not sufficient. As you saw in that clip, just going at about 20 meters per second slammed right into well, it wasn't much of a slam, it was more of a plop right into that ramp. There seems to be some sort of interaction with the wheels and the vehicles to where if I'm going too fast, the wheels don't seem to engage the ramp quick enough, and they just slam into the ramp. They slam into the surface of the ramp as though it were a wall. I mean, this happens to vehicles even if they're snub nose. So I think that vehicle had a little bit lead out in front, but it didn't have as much as others. At the end of this episode, when I found a working design, I'm going to show you what it's really all about. But for right now, I've got 3 designs, and I'm going to walk you through the sort of evolution to reach that third design and that successful test. So let's go ahead and go to Design 1. Design 1, the pop ramp. So I had this idea that if I couldn't get the vehicle to engage with the ramp early, why don't I try to do it late? So I figured, why don't I just have the pistons bounce or pop right under the wheels with the ramp, and then the vehicles will engage and fly off into the air like I want. This this was a very convoluted idea that required sensor and timing, but all in all, the idea of shooting one mass into another mass that's moving had a predictable result. Indeed, the pop ramp sucks. So, it's time for a new design. A new ramp. A revolutionary ramp. The tip ramp. Yes, because it's just the tip. So, in this case, I adjust the height of the pistons so that there's less of the ramp. It means less end effect, but also I don't get to have that problem where I'm just ramming into the blocks. This one was interesting. A success. The tip ramp is a success, but it was a bit of a short jump. Let's see if we can raise the bar a bit and get a bigger hop. Success. But what is the fail point? How far before the tip is too much? Well, that proves it. There is such a thing as too much. So let's bring it down and go for a real test. It's a success. The tip ramp is a success, but I feel like we found the right depth, but let's make it wider. Let's try to expand it so that we get more surface area enjoyment. Yes. Flawless victory. And so the tip ramp is technically a success. Why do I say technically? Because I tried out my own personal vehicle, which is of a snub-nosed design. What I need to do is try out one of the workshop builds, something with a little extra in the trunk, if you catch my drift. Alright, so the tip design is not going to be universal. It's not going to be one size fits all. This is quite natural, quite biological. What I need is something that any vehicle could use. I need the customizable ramp. You see, Space Engineers has two wonderful machines, the hinge and the piston. With the hinge, I can get a range of motion that is 0 to 180 degrees. And then with the piston, I can adjust the height so that the base of my sort of homemade ramp is now even with the runway, so that everything should connect and I should be able to get continuous traction and soar into the air just like I want. Technically, you could replicate this build with a rotor that is side-mounted, but then it's exposed and it becomes less aesthetically pleasing, while underneath, you can actually hide it away. But since this is a piston, will it work as we expect? That's the question. A smashing success. But that was not much of an angle. That was only one degree. We need to go more. We need to find where our limits, where our boundaries are. Good. How about more? Good. But where's my failure point? It would appear that I have found the edge. I'm teetering on the brink between a successful ramp and another crushing defeat. But the reality is that the customizable ramp is the best option. But every vehicle is going to have a different point at which it is most successful. Whether or not I'm going to find that for every vehicle is going to be up to how much time I have, the practical reality. But for what time I do have, I'm going to have some fun. That's the most important thing. Let's find some workarounds and have fun.